Hello and welcome to Spokast. It's me, Brennan, and it's only me today. Not really. Andrea and Nate are with me in the show, but unfortunately, we weren't able to do a kind of reaction to our latest show because we actually did a remote. We recorded with our friends Matt and Chris at Whistlepunk, and had a great time of just hanging out with them, drinking some of their beer, and getting to know them better. We've known them for a pretty long time, ever since they opened, and Matt started Whistlepunk with his dad and his brother. But yeah, I mean, I think Andrew and Nate would agree with me. Like, this was a really, really fun show, and we talk about their beer, how they got the name Whistlepunk. And just kind of the goings on of what Whistlepunk is all about. It's a really fun episode. Whistlepunk is located on Monroe and Railroad Alley, and Railroad Alley is kind of a half a block up from First Avenue. But they're on the ground floor of this old building called the Electric Building, and they're just kind of in this stone basement right next to another one of our good friends, Heritage Bar and Grill, and they so they kind of share a basement, and just so much has been going on with Whistlepunk. They just opened up their new area. They were just in the one space, but now they on the side over they have expanded, and they have so much more seating, so there's a ton of places to go grab a beer. And with the expanded seating, they have added more taps. I don't know how many number of taps. I think we talk about it in the show. But go check them out. It's amazing beer, some of the best beer that you're going to have in the Spokane area. And they love it. It's all small batch beer. And you can tell by just talking to Matt how much passion he has with beer. And the same with Chris. They love beer so much, and they just want to share it with everyone that comes to Spokane and everyone that lives in Spokane. So hope you enjoy the show. And as always, thank you guys so much for liking us on Instagram, for following us on Facebook, for reviewing us on iTunes and other places. We really, really appreciate that. Continue to give us those reviews, give us those 5-star reviews. They really help us out. And thank you so much for the feedback. Even if I know we've gotten a teeny bit of criticism, and that's great, because that's just we're a new podcast, and we need to get that. We need to hear what you guys think about the show and what what's working, what's not working, or feedback's great, and it really helps us out a lot. So if you could just leave those reviews, and continue to interact with us on Instagram. You can find us at Spokast Podcast on Instagram. And you can email the show at hello@spokast.com. If you email me, I'll check it. I check it every other day or so. I do owe someone a package of swag, and you sent me an email about it probably about a couple months ago, or a month ago, and I still owe you that. So, but if you do email the show, we will respond, and we appreciate that as always. So please continue to slide in our DMs and Spokast and chill. So enjoy the show, and this is Spokast.
Hey, this is Spokast, and I'm Andrea Williams with
Nate Martin
and
Brennan Pointer.
We all work and play in Spokane, Washington, and just want to share our experiences from this great city.
From our favorite hangouts, hikes, and happy hours, we're here to talk about all the Lilac City has to offer.
But that's not all we're going to be talking about on Spokast.
Each episode will feature a guest host to chat about how they're changing the landscape of our city. This is Spokast.
We can edit that. I actually don't want people to hear that. That'd be great.
I'm not going to edit that out because we need to have at least a couple of...
We're editing that out.
Why? He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
He flubbed a couple of people's grades.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed the grades of 1 or 2 assignments.
Just so you know,
Not
it'd be hey, we're going to edit this
try to
out,
just
and then
take
Brennan
that F on a
doesn't
paper
edit
and
it out.
turn it into an A, and you're like, yeah.
It'd be like the difference between a a D and a C. It was like 10%. Not a
What
big
was
deal.
the
Like-
profit?
Who's paying to get a C?
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. What do you got? Like $2? Like,
Yo, just see me. I know I didn't get a C.
Well, they couldn't. They just had to pass. That was.
Oh, so you really.
I really did it. Yeah.
We really should edit this out.
this is yeah.
The teachers in OMAC
Okay.
should not hear
What-
this.
Or the
I'm trying to
FBI.
remember her name, but I cannot think of it for the life of me.
Anyhow,
She was a very nice lady.
I'm not worried about the teachers at all. I'm just worried about the FBI.
FBI. Welcome to Spokast. This isn't an extra AF episode. I almost said it was an extra AF episode. We did release an election episode. That was fun.
Yeah.
But we're here at my favorite brewery, my like third home away from home. I don't know.
What's your other home away from home?
The Office,
Oh.
no. Which is above Whistlepunk, where we are. We're here with Matt and Chris, and of course,
Nate's.
And Brennan.
Yeah.
hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
Well,
for
thank
coming
you
on.
for having us
We
in your
finally,
space.
yeah. This is also the first time we're recording not in Nate's apartment with a
Which
guest,
is just above us.
which is actually also
Well,
just
just
above
over
us.
that way.
In our neighborhood. We spend so much time here. It's
Yeah.
kind of the best. It's the best beer in Spokane. Let's be real. Like,
Well, thank you.
It's so delicious.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I won't argue with you guys.
Good.
I'm just joking.
Before we get into all the fun stuff that we're going to cover tonight, Matt, you started this with your dad?
Yeah. Started with my dad. We've been in this location about 2.5 years. And before that, we were selling kegs, just kind of just like doing small distribution for a couple years before that, trying to get our name out there and look for a retail space.
What made you want to get into the beer world?
So I was in college at Eastern Washington University, and my dad was always brewing beer since kind of before I was even born. So I grew up with like 5-gallon carboys in the house and kind of knew what the process looked like. And then on my 21st birthday, I went and bought a home brew kit and brewed that day. And
Oh,
yeah,
That's
and that was
awesome.
the first day I drank too. So it was like it was a big day for me. And
that's,
then
that's so. Wait, you
And
really
then-
you really didn't drink before your 21st?
yeah, my 21st birthday.
You like were
Yeah.
I don't
by the
Straight edge,
book.
I promise.
Promise.
That one I'm actually telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, are you?
No. So we, I brewed that day, and then it just kind of got out of hand in college. It kind of got my dad back into it. We started doing weddings for people, and then
Oh.
got licensed, and then it just spiraled kind of. So by the time I was done with school, I knew it's what I wanted to do after I graduated. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How'd you meet Chris?
we met because Chris was coming in here bringing awesome beer.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris had got into
Beer trading.
beer trading, and we were doing a lot of those styles that are like kind of the hype styles.
What is beer trading?
Yeah. Well, tell us about beer trading. I mean, I follow Sippin' on Beer. Instagram, which I learned about
Oh, yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
But like,
He's
what?
dope.
Like,
Adam.
this is like some like underground.
So it's like
stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we get beer over here that people say on the East Coast or like the South want to drink, and so I get it, and someone's just like, I want this beer, and they'll say, this is what I have for trade, and then you just
Beer's so hyper local.
swap beer.
So
yeah.
there's kind of like this thing where you hear about like people hype their own beer, and so, or like their regional beer. So you see all this beer that you can't get because you can't get it outside the brewery basically, or
Yeah.
things like that. And so it kind of creates like demand. Everyone has like certain things in demand. So
and FOMO.
and FOMO. It's like a
Serious.
whole industry
Mhm.
driven on FOMO.
Wow.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Super healthy.
I mean, like, like the way like I got into it is I found like a really killer beer from Fort George. It was the 3-way IPA from 2 years ago. So good. It was a collaboration with Reuben's Brews in Seattle and then Great Notion. You know Great Notion.
the
Great
best.
Notion is wonderful. And that beer just like became like catcher in the rye. It was so good. Like every time I saw it, I had to buy it. At the end of the summer, I think I had like 2 cases of it, and it was just like, you don't have to search around for like a beer. It was just like, cool, I just drink this all the time.
So it's like
And-
trading baseball cards, but you're trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, for adults.
Sweet.
How much are
Also,
baseball cards you can do as an adult? Anyway.
what? No. But also, side note, like if you ever go to Astoria, you have to go to Fort George because it's
yeah.
such a cool brewery. You're like overlooking the water, and it's a huge space, and their beer is awesome. They have really fun merch too.
And they have like 4 tap rooms in one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's like yeah.
Oh, okay. Every time I've been there, the basement's been closed.
Oh, the level tap room?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I have to go back to Astoria.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. Y'all met from beer trading.
Yeah.
We
I
met,
would-
yeah, because Chris was coming in here just
So
bringing us
I
beer
used to
and
come in
stuff.
here when Angel worked here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Angel.
You worked here.
Angel's the one that got me the job here because I would just like bring in beers. I'm like, dude, you gotta try this beer. He's like, you gotta bring this when Matt's working. And so Matt's just like, you're the guy with the Treehouse beers. That's what we're drinking right here. It's so good.
So good.
So good. But yeah, it's just like some of the best beer in the country, and we like to drink it, and we like drinking the good stuff.
And you've just been the best friends ever since.
Yeah,
No.
and that was the start of a happy life.
Cool. So,
Good beer in Kanye West.
go. Oh yeah, we'll talk about the music in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, the
We'll
hot
get-
list.
Yeah, let's get into the hot list. Brennan, you want to lead us on the hot list?
We start with the game usually.
Let's start with the game.
We're starting with the game. We do start with the game.
You always go in the hot list first, and we always play a game first.
Like, okay, you know, this is like guest 7, so we haven't been doing this that long.
What's the game?
Okay, so we played this before. It's an old favorite.
An oldie but a goodie.
We never know the games until like right now. Like,
Well, I literally just we played this one before. It's an Amazon review game. So I just read reviews from Amazon,
Perfect.
and you have to guess how many stars they gave this review.
Oh, nice.
They're funny reviews. And so
Oh, it's reviews of reviews?
no, it's reviews of products on Amazon.
Oh, because there's a website reviewing reviews.
no.
Promise.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Really?
amazing.
I have to look.
We
that
just have to
up.
guess the stars, not
Okay,
the product.
perfect. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all the products.
Got it.
and
Awesome.
everything, yeah.
I'm so excited. Shoot.
So this guy bought a black steel casket
Ouch. Off Amazon?
off Amazon.
What was the shipping on that?
It was free
Prime,
shipping.
so
It's
like
Prime.
yeah,
Today?
you're good.
It says free shipping.
Oh,
yeah.
Grandma died.
Oh, ouch.
The review simply just says no complaints from Grandpa.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go 5 stars on that.
I'm gonna say 3 because you're already in a depressed state of mood.
Okay, sure. It's 5 stars.
5 stars, huh?
Right.
That's so great.
And all you had to do was keep Grandpa cold for like 48 hours.
Was that was all the
Throw 'em
review
in the
was?
garage.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I like started cackling. I thought it was so funny.
No complaints from
I had
Grandpa.
no idea you could buy caskets.
Me
on
neither.
Amazon.
I
You
learned
can buy
something
like
new.
a tiny house on Amazon.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And you can buy a
What?
kilo of saffron.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh.
$5,200.
Shut the front door.
saffron
Promise.
is legit.
All right. I will
That's
order
good.
that later.
Yeah.
It was the deal. It was the deal of the
I don't
day
want
once.
it.
It was on sale
It's
for
actually
$3,900.
it's been in my basket for like a year. That kilo of saffron. I just can never save it for later.
I can't believe anything you two say.
On to the next one.
So this one is for long-lasting dog chews. Dear AKC, your long-lasting dog chews, in quotation marks, lasted all of 5 minutes. If that's your idea of a long-lasting bone, then I feel sorry for your wife.
Ooh. That's a burn. Ouch.
That's nice.
I'm gonna guess 1
Yeah.
star.
I'm gonna concur on the 1 star.
Did he give him a pity star? Did he go 2?
Can you do a half a star?
Can you do
You cannot
0
do
stars?
a half a star.
Oh, okay.
And you cannot do 0 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 stars.
2 stars.
2
1.
stars.
Yeah. 2
All right.
stars.
It was
mean-
2?
Yeah.
Wow. Even with the whole wife.
He hit him
like
hard with
diss?
the diss at the end, so he had to butter it
Pat
up.
him on the
Felt
back.
bad
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, I feel
it's
kind of
okay.
bad, but this is a good burn. But I'll give you 2 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's amazing.
This is a review for a yodeling pickle. It's a thing, apparently.
Yeah, if you can buy a casket, of course you buy a yodeling pickle.
Says, Better Than Bieber is the title of this review. It says, my 12-year-old niece asked for the Justin Bieber CD for Christmas, so I bought her this yodeling pickle. So far, no one can tell the difference.
No.
How many stars?
That's harsh. The Biebs.
5?
Yeah.
Was it 5?
It's 5 stars.
Yeah.
Who goes out of their way to like sneak diss Justin Bieber?
That is
I don't
kinda-
know if that's
yeah.
even a really.
I mean, I would never think there's going to be a diss of Justin Bieber off of an Amazon review, but
I'm sorry if that hit you in the feels.
No.
Okay.
I went and saw the Justin Bieber movie when it was in theaters
I
like
did too.
5-6 years ago. He's a really good musician.
I love Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
Like-
his last album was
It's
nice too.
I thought he was a total d-bag,
Yeah.
but then I watched this movie and like he plays all of his instruments.
Yeah.
He sings like.
Yeah, no, he's
I mean,
definitely talented.
We all
for
do.
sure.
And he's due
we all
for an
do
album.
Dumb stuff sometimes.
It's gonna apparently drop before Christmas. If
Did he say that?
If his Instagram post gets more than
Oh, I did
2
see
million
that.
likes,
I liked it.
million.
I'm not
20
sure.
million.
Oh, 20 million. Sorry.
Okay, so this is a review
Purpose was so
for
good.
a pack of 60 condoms. This review says, these are some great condoms, but let me give you some life advice. I bought these back when I was in a relationship with someone out of my league. I figured after we had been together for a while, I should start buying protection in bulk. So I bought 60 condoms, and we kept getting it on for a while until she dumped me. Now I have a drawer by my bed full of completely superfluous condoms. They sit there mocking me as I drunkenly cradle myself to sleep, cold, alone, in my pathetic excuse for an apartment.
I mean, I feel like that's got to at least be a 4-star because he's not like.
So sad.
I mean, it's sad, but
It was
like,
a nice story while it lasted.
Yeah.
get another girlfriend, get in the game, man.
He said great product, 10 out
Yeah.
of 10, 5 stars.
Oh, good on him.
Wow.
So I mean, he left his emotions out of the review.
Yeah.
That's very.
That's a mature reviewer.
objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Good for him.
Yeah, I like it when people do that.
Let's
Emotionless
see. We'll do one
reviews.
more. Okay, this one's ridiculous. This is a review for a tasteless personal lubricant. It's lube, not much more to say. Sometimes I like covering my body in it and pretending to be a slug while sliding around in my bathroom.
It was oil based.
It doesn't say.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's 5 stars.
5
yeah.
stars.
It's got to be.
It's 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good lube, I guess.
goodness.
There was a.
Did you just ask if it was oil?
I said I assumed it was oil based.
I would imagine it's like silicone based.
Silicone based, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
There was a review.
Water
on-
based
was-
lube, water based
if it-
lube, you couldn't slide around like a slug as much because it would
would dry out and
evaporate, it
get
would dry out
tacky.
into your skin.
I mean, I would definitely, don't be careful over there. I would say like silicone base, you wouldn't want any association with taste because like you don't want to put that in your mouth, right? Doesn't that make you sick?
Yeah, that's
I
why
mean,
it's tasteless.
flavored lube tastes
If it was
disgusting,
flavored silicone,
so-
if it was flavored silicone lube,
Just saying.
that'd just be like it's taunting you.
Maybe
Don't eat it, but
is,
tastes like strawberries.
Water based.
You never go ask them.
Yeah.
Coffins, lube, singing pickles,
There was
Amazon.
a
It's
review
a beautiful
on
place.
Amazon for a 50-gallon drum of lube, and we did this once
Wow.
before, where the guy had
That's
it.
a lot of lube.
Oh.
He was like the UPS driver, discreetly unloaded my 55-gallon drum of lube and proceeded to spill it all over the driveway. And then he's
Tom,
like,
where do you want me to put the lube?
I didn't get to use the lube, but now any amount of cars can fit in my garage.
Yes.
And I was like, that's probably my favorite one I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, 50-gallon drum.
That's a
I don't even like buying mayonnaise in bigger than like 12-ounce things, you know? Like anything, it just,
man.
it starts to get gross, you know? I want to open that thing 3 times and then,
He must have been having some sort of like party, like a.
oh yeah, a slip and slide party.
Yeah, a slip and
Oh
slide
yeah,
party.
either that or like a giant wrestling,
Oh
like
yeah, like wrestling.
yeah.
Does
like-
lube go bad?
Yeah, lube goes bad, I think.
I mean, it
Does it dry
technically
out?
does expire, but I mean,
yeah,
everything has to have an expiration date.
True.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
All right.
Well, next
Thanks.
we're gonna move on to our.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh,
Was there another
the
review?
55-gallon drum of lube is only $961.19, and we can have it here by Friday.
I mean, what's the percentage off on that? Like, does it say? You know how? Like,
Oh.
Bulk
doesn't
deal.
say.
I only used to buy things on Amazon if they were like 30% or more.
yeah. What's the price per pint on that? Do you know?
It
Point,
comes in pint price.
it's it says it's
Who needs a
point-
pint of lube?
It's 14 cents per fluid ounce.
Oh, fluid ounce. There we go. That's what I was
the
thinking.
pint.
I mean,
And it actually says that it's 7,040 fluid ounces.
wow,
That's a lot of lube.
7,040 ounces of tasteless lube.
This is water based, so
Whew, yes.
yeah.
Ooh.
All right, get the slip and
Oh my
slide ready.
goodness. This
I mean, I
is
kind of want to
so-
order a. I don't know where
would you put it?
Do not
I feel like
order
that needs to be like an adult, like Olympics, like drinking game kind of thing, where
Actually,
you get like
it
a
does
giant
include a pump.
bouncy castle.
Include the, oh yeah, you know, you gotta like.
It has a
pump it
pump.
out.
Put it down at the bottom of your stairs, and you can just share it with your building.
Community lube.
Or what about a lube water balloon fight?
Oh,
gross.
they wouldn't
Oh.
pop.
They would definitely pop.
Would
They
they?
would pop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I
they would
feel
probably
like
have a lot of weight. That would
they'd
probably
be able to like.
painful,
I
but-
feel like it's
So
like
it hurt?
heavier. You know,
I hate
like
that it has a
when
pump.
you.
You just like set up
How
as
are you
furniture
supposed
in
to
your
get
house.
it
Like,
out?
What are you doing? Just
like
pumping
people
some
sitting on
lube.
just next to the bed.
You never know when that mood strikes.
Yeah. You don't have to
Lather
have
up.
55 gallons. All right.
Is
Let her out like a
that where you
slug.
would keep it next to the bed?
Yeah, you just put
Yeah,
you just put like
clearly.
a decorative sheet around it.
Your lady wants to
Make
get
it like
get
a
down.
nightstand.
That's what I'm
You're-
saying. You'd
you
make
know,
it like furniture.
That's a great idea.
Your
actually.
significant
Wrap
other
your
wants to
bed
get
in
down and
tarp.
dirty, and you just gotta hold on. Let me just prop the top off the barrel real quick and grab a little.
No
bit.
more buying 8-ounce bottles of lube for this guy.
It's like when you step inside of this container.
Anyway, moving on. Oh,
Oh
God.
man, this has really got on hand. Do you want to talk about? Okay, so we're gonna do a hot list now.
Okay, hot list.
Favorite lubes.
I actually do. I can answer that question.
Brendan, that was perfect. That was so
I
great.
was just grab the 99-cent ones from
I-
like Castle or whatever. I thought
Yeah,
99
like the
cents was
little,
cheap.
like-
14 cents an ounce. I mean, like,
I only know,
Ow.
isn't it KY? Isn't that the like the one brand?
No, there's tons of brands.
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
I get the Walmart brand.
Great value lube.
Great. Yeah.
Great value.
I think that's what's in the bedside dresser right now.
Yeah, what-
Sorry, mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Just
joking.
Nate's over here looking at me.
Oh, I was looking at
Oh my goodness, we've gotten so off track. So yeah, we're gonna do a hot list. We're gonna talk about some of our most favorable things to do in Spokane.
Just say favorite.
Favorite things to do in Spokane, and I think we'll start with favorite coffee. Like, where do you like to get coffee in the morning? I think we kind of talked about this already, a little bit, but yeah. Before the show started, we were talking about like our favorite places to get coffee. Where like,
I don't know. I really enjoy Anvil Coffee, but I don't go there to get coffee because it's not close to where I go.
right.
So coffee to me is like a like I end up going to First Avenue a lot.
Okay. Do you go anywhere like on your way?
No,
In the
because I
town?
get drip coffee and most of the stands just have Americano and they try to sell you like it's drip. It's not
Yeah.
drip.
Yeah,
No.
I'm all
Don't
about that.
It is
don't
not
put
the
don't put
same.
water in whiskey and tell me it's beer. You know, it's like
I do love it.
just because you put water in a shot of coffee doesn't mean it's a drip coffee.
Yeah.
Nope.
Pet peeve.
I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, I go to Hold Your Grounds. It's on my way. It's in the hood.
Where's that at?
What is it?
Boone and
Ash.
Boone and Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Boone and,
And it's
Ash.
always
Never heard
busy.
of it.
It's always busy.
It's like the only one over in that neighborhood,
Yeah, it
unless
is.
you want to go to like the OG and Daba.
Or-
on
No,
or
Whippet
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 Latte.
Latte is like 2 blocks up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on what side of the street you usually travel on, it's a convenience issue at that point.
It is. Well, and how much
Yeah,
money you have too. Like
I
I feel like
haven't-
the drinks are more expensive.
I haven't been there.
I say I feel
Whippet
like the
Latte?
drinks are more expensive.
Yeah, isn't it?
Whippet Latte?
It's a coffee and a show. It's great.
Wait, what?
I'm looking directly at Matt's face. And I cannot keep it together right now.
Like seriously.
You've not been?
Imagine if he was
No,
taking a
I
lie
mean-
detector test right now.
I
He's
know.
like his hand is just out. He's like nothing.
Whippet Latte,
Whip it a latte.
Yep.
formerly the Hot Cup of Joe. No?
No, I haven't.
That was
Never
fine.
bad. No, never
that
bad.
that was yeah.
It's fine.
It's good.
Fine.
Yeah.
I've never been to one.
You haven't been to a
It's kind of a-
bikini?
So
It's
I
a-
haven't
it's-
went to one
yeah.
either.
Yeah.
I have been to one.
I've never actually, and I've never accidentally gone to one
I've
either.
been to 2 of them.
Was it nice?
Is it fun?
So okay, the first time,
Is it fun?
okay, maybe I've been to like 3.
Okay.
So first time, I knew what I was
I
getting
go
into.
every Friday. No.
Coffee was absolutely horrible. And then
You're not going to get
it wasn't good coffee like, at all. So
Surprising.
I mean, I don't know. My expectations were like I'll settle for regular, but it was not good. Let's see.
settle for
The
regular.
second time I went, I was caught off guard. You know, like you wake up in the morning, you're driving a car. All I want is some coffee. I'm like, oh, sweet. The place across the street is jam packed. Let's go to this one. And then this lady pops up and she's got her titties hanging out, and you're just like,
Hey.
Get Americano, please, vanilla. And then they're like hot or ice, and you're just like, oh man, like you're not prepared to like answer questions at this
You're
point.
a little distracted.
A little distracted.
A little caught off guard.
Yeah. The third time I went.
Where was that? In Spokane? Second base?
that was
With the latte?
that was the first time.
Devil's Brew?
Yeah, Devil's Brew. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the one on
What's
Northwest
location?
Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that it was I didn't know that was what it was.
It's on the north side of Northwest Boulevard, like on your way in between Monroe and Maple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like go to the place across the street, but when that one
Boulevard.
opened up, but I don't. Is that what it's
Used to
called
be
now?
Deb's.
Deb's.
It was
I used to go there.
Boulevard,
It was
and now it's
Deb's. Dope spot. And then the other place opened up. I didn't realize that's what it was because they didn't have that giant sign that says topless every day. So it was kind of a like it took me off by surprise.
I feel like Whip It a Latte is a little bit undercover. I didn't know it was one, and I never went to it. But then Abby's like, that's a.
I never see any
Bikini
cars
barista.
there, so
At
maybe
Whip It a Latte?
it's a front. Yeah,
You just like the way he says it.
I do. He sings so great. I went to the Devil's Brew way up north, like on Francis, past Francis on Nevada.
What?
I know where it's at.
Yeah, there was I
Yeah.
didn't know there was anything else up there. I think now there's a Dutch Bros, and I went and she was fully titties were out, and then I think the best part about this was that the tip line isn't like $1 or $2 like at every other coffee stand.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
I've seen pictures
$5
of that.
custom amount. No, I was
Yeah.
like, get
It's
it, girl.
like-
I was like, make those tips.
I think I gave her like $2, and she was just like pissed off at me, and I'm just like, oh, I just hope you don't burn yourself. I mean, who came up with this
Am I?
concept?
Yeah.
Like, don't you hear about all those people that are like suing McDonald's for hot coffee, and now
Yeah.
like here we are, we got all these ladies that are just like
Whipped Wednesdays.
What's a Whipped Wednesday?
that?
They only wear whipped cream
That's not true.
That's
on their
What?
boobs. Yeah.
That's not
That's
true.
disgusting.
How often are they applying whipped cream?
They put on
What does the
pasties
floor look
and then they
like?
put on whipped cream.
No.
I mean, that's like dripping off like every like 2 seconds. Like their floor has got to be hella dirty.
Oh.
There's just like they're slipping and they're
Anyhow.
falling and they can't get up.
We should move on to the next
Moving on.
show.
Oh,
This
I
is like
love all of these topics so far.
tangent episode.
Sorry.
No, you're great.
That's
Great. This is
great.
fun. This is
This is so
like
fun.
what this is all,
Okay.
beginning's all about. Favorite date night.
Durkins?
Mm.
Yeah.
Upstairs or downstairs?
Both.
Mm.
Start upstairs, apps and a meal, and a drink, and then go downstairs.
What's your favorite thing to get on the menu there?
It's the best cheeseburger I've ever had.
It's the most
I
incredible
love the
cheese.
mussels.
Oh, I haven't had the
The
mussels.
fried bologna's amazing. Everything's good.
So
The double bone
good.
and pork chop. The whole menu's really good.
It is.
I really enjoy Durkins.
Me too.
Oh, I go to Texas Roadhouse.
No, you don't.
Hell yeah! And then we stop at the Kontiki on the way back.
I have a gift card for Texas Roadhouse.
It's the best. Have you had their
I've
bread
not-
there is so good. It's amazing.
I mean, I've been there, but
What is
yeah.
it? It's the they have
Texas
the
Roadhouse.
cinnamon bread, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Butter cinnamon or
Something
cinnamon
like
butter.
that.
Isn't there?
It's tasty.
Isn't there?
That's like an Outback, right?
Yeah, sort of. For like Idaho.
Isn't there a Texas Roadhouse like in Spokane?
No, I think just Coeur d'Alene.
I mean,
No, I think there's one
not
opening
that
in
you can go to the
Spokane.
Kontiki on the way home.
yeah.
Do you ever eat it at the Kontiki?
No, they don't- I mean, they
they
have
sell
food
food
They have
there?
chicken strips.
I think yeah.
Oh, they do have chicken
I love
strips.
I don't
chicken
know. I've never
strips.
been.
Are they
Yeah.
good chicken strips? Oh, you're kidding.
I don't
I'll
know.
do-
I assume they have chicken strips.
God, this is gonna be very confusing.
Nate, I'll take you to the
what's next?
Kontiki.
Oh, I've been many times. Yeah.
Chicken strips.
There's that joke on Between Two Ferns about have you ever seen chickens?
About to run a train on these chicken
Wait.
What?
I don't know what's. Yeah.
I don't know. The next one.
It was like, have you ever seen a chicken strip? Get it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Next to the
Yeah, they're
Kontiki.
like- yeah, that's really
It was a
funny.
thing.
Gosh. Favorite outdoor activity? Like, what do you guys like to favorite
Oh,
thing to do around
Jumping
Spokane?
jacks.
Jumping jacks? Like
Jumping jacks.
Soccer.
Oh.
You play soccer?
Yeah, but
Is that
I play
outdoor?
no, that's indoor soccer.
Do you like?
I mean, I would play outdoor soccer. I haven't got to that level yet.
Do you like to take hikes?
So I'm not. So I'm not. No.
No.
I tried to like it. I went and did the.
I tried to like it, and
I
it
did the
didn't.
Liberty Lake one.
Oh,
and
that's
saw the
fun.
waterfall,
like a
and then I
Liberty
did the.
There's some nasty
What's the
ass
Iller
hashbacks.
Creek?
Yeah, Iller Creek up
So-
to Rocks of Sharon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not into it.
No.
At all. Hiking in general.
That's funny.
Here.
Interesting.
I got there and I was like, eh.
Well,
It's
I
like
mean,
about-
The view
views
didn't
are
do it.
not that great. on
But what are
those
you
hikes.
hiking
Really?
for?
I like the view.
Exercise,
Exercise and the
and the
view.
I'm bad at being in the
To
Northwest.
commune with nature.
See, I always
Yeah,
bring
but
a
I'll just
beer
go
with me
run.
too. Like if
I'll
I
just
go on
go
a hike, I mean,
run.
like you put a beer in your pocket and
Yeah, I definitely
Like,
I've
reward
totally
yourself.
done that. Yeah,
Treat
totally
yourself.
bring a little picnic to the
Yeah.
top.
I don't know about it.
Liberty Lake is a long one. I think when we did it, it was like
Yeah, it's not-
8 or 9
yeah.
miles. We totally had a snack.
I don't
at
know.
the
I
top.
tried to do the Northwest thing and hike and be went to REI.
Brought some hiking shoes.
I did.
Nice.
And
Did you get some hiking socks?
I wear hiking socks still. Yeah. But just not into it.
I see you running down Northwest Boulevard.
I run.
Yeah.
I don't like to hike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
do
don't like
too.
hiking either. Abby always wants to go hiking. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I think we
wanna go
both liked
hiking.
the idea of liking it.
I love it.
You do?
Yeah, it's
love
fun.
hiking.
Yeah, we bring the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
Bull and
walking.
pitcher.
There's
I was joking.
It is.
I'm just joking.
There's a hike over in Idaho where you get
Mineral Ridge.
no. This is much longer than that. But
Scotchman's Peak.
Scotchman's Peak, where there's baby goats and
Oh, I've heard about that.
mama goats, and yeah, the hike is very long, but it's like 8 miles up, 8 miles down. I
Oh,
believe.
wow.
But
Yeah.
it's gorgeous when you get to the top and there's all these goats everywhere, and you just chill, and like a little
chilling
pup
with some
goes
goats?
with
Are they
me,
wild?
and-
Whoa.
Yeah, you're in the middle
crazy.
of nowhere.
They're like white with horns.
Yeah,
No way.
And there's all these
Nice.
signs that say you're not supposed to feed the goats because they can become aggressive. And somebody like was feeding the goat like peanut butter or something, and they stabbed the person with their horn because
Oh,
they
man, give me
stopped
some of-
feeding the.
I actually did hear about
Goat?
that. Was a lady, right?
Yeah,
I
and so
think
they
I
had to
heard
shut down
about
the mountain for the rest of the year because people were freaking out. It was crazy. Anyhow,
So is hiking just the general consensus on what we like to do?
No, what else do you like to do? Free time. You're not here. You're not working. What do you like to do for fun?
do you have like a park?
I
that
like
you
to
go
run.
to?
No.
Like, where do you
No.
like to run?
I do the same loop every day.
How many miles?
It's a 5-mile loop.
And
Sometimes I do it twice,
Oh man,
but that's it.
what's the loop?
It's just one that is by my house, and I don't have to drive because I don't like to run. I don't like to get in my car sweaty.
Oh,
So I like to start from my house and end at my house.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm very simple that way.
That's
I'm not
what I-
trying to.
yeah.
I'm not trying to drive somewhere to go run.
Perfect.
I like
I
the
can go
idea of
that.
going on the Centennial Trail and running and wearing like my cool shorts,
showing
but
off a little bit.
Yeah, the
Then
five,
you have to get in your
the
car
5
when you're
inches
sweaty.
or whatever.
yeah.
Or you could just run from your
Yeah.
house to Centennial Trail.
It's not that far.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you're on Northwest Boulevard, you could just go down over to West Central and take the trail down that way.
You could do it.
Yeah.
You could.
He's like, I'm not going to.
I want to.
What do you like to do when you're not for fun then? If we're not hikers,
I run. I just don't run often.
what
Now.
else do you like to do? I mean, what else do you do besides your running? I mean, running takes like.
I like to go get served by people.
All right.
Okay.
You just got served.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Like
You know,
just-
like go
Yeah.
downtown and like eat
Yeah.
Yeah.
and have drinks.
That's like my favorite pastime.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
favorite pastime.
Yeah.
I'm there with that. Yeah.
Um,
We run and we get served.
Mm-hmm.
You got any favorite like local places that you've been going to like that are?
You know, it's usually Community Pint or Nectar.
I forget about.
We do
Community
wandering
Pint.
table. We do
Oh, you
wandering
can't-
table happy hour
Can't forget
quite
about
often.
Community Pint.
What's their happy hour?
Wandering table happy hour?
Yeah.
Similar to Gilded Unicorns.
It's
It's
good.
like $4 small plates and then
Yeah.
like
Oh.
$4 drafts,
We
$5.
should
not
do
know
that
how.
It's
It's
the
sometime.
best. Their
Me
happy hours.
neither. I
Their happy
didn't-
hours
They
great.
still have duck wings there too.
Yeah.
The
Duck-
wandering
man.
table is
All
legit.
about
Wandering table's
duck
great.
wings.
We love their happy hour.
They're crispy cauliflowers.
Yeah, their cauliflowers.
So
are
Oh
great.
yeah, that
Though
yeah, like
I
General
was up at
Sal's or
Manitou
whatever.
Tap House,
Yeah.
Manitou
Manitou.
Tap House on Friday, and I had their
I
cauliflower,
love that
their buffalo
so you know,
cauliflower,
I put
and it
that
was
on the menu there.
better than.
Yeah, Chris
Wandering
was the head
Table.
chef there.
Yeah, I put the buffalo cauliflower on the
It's
menu there.
so
Oh
good.
really?
Yeah,
That's so good.
it's
I
so
was
good.
watching like a video on Facebook about like cauliflower and then like
So
buffalo
good.
strips, and I was just like, This
Let's do
looks
it.
good. So we just
It's
made
so,
it.
yeah.
and It's good, huh?
Do you know what was annoying about my time there, though? And I don't really make it up there often because it requires me to drive up the South Hill, and living downtown, I like to walk everywhere or just
far.
walk here. That they were out of like 3 beers. Like the first 3 beers I picked, they were out. That is like annoying.
It is annoying.
AF.
Yeah, but that means they have like 45 more beers that you could try. I'm just saying.
There you go.
I mean,
true.
It just means
I get what you're saying. Anytime somebody
opportunity.
we do
I
a good
looked at
job
the
of keeping our
menu.
menu right.
Yes.
But every time I get handed a menu, I say, "Is this correct?" And they
Yeah.
always say yes, and they go, "Actually, this one, and this one aren't on it."
Well,
I'm
it's
like, so
tough.
it's not correct.
It's so tough there because it's like you have like
I
the
get it
coming
there.
soon stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then something will blow, and they might not like they go through every morning and like black because they change the menu every week.
It seems like,
So-
from a business standpoint, it'd probably be smart for them to get like a computer screen or some tablets because it rotates that quickly that they could update it
That
quicker.
just seems
costs money, yeah.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
they're always
It seems so
packed, and there's
Applebee's.
always a wait to
It
get
does seem
there.
Applebee's.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to?
something.
If I'm at Red Robin or Chili's, yeah, maybe, but not.
When they have like
I went
50
to a Red
beers.
Robin, and they have laminated menus, which is cool. No?
That's great. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
was so impressed with it. I was like, look at that. No.
I do have one other question. So besides, Whistle Punk, where do you guys like to go have beers at other than here?
My wife and I go to Perry Street quite often. I really like Perry Street beer. I like a lot of the beer in Spokane.
I love that space.
Yeah, and the food's
Food's
good,
good,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great patio. We do, but it's Nectar Community Pint usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Nectar
for the,
Candle-
for
and
the
then
love
Nectar-
of God,
we've been doing For Love of God.
Nectar
yeah.
Candle
Yeah.
Yards.
Yeah, Nectar Candle Yards.
For the love of God.
I haven't
For
gone
the
to
Love
the
of God's in the
yet.
they're dope.
Audubon
He's
area
okay.
on
he's
Northwest.
cool. We're like, we can walk there, so
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
me and Matt got some mug memberships there, so we have our own cool little mugs when we
Nice.
go in there.
Yeah,
Are
For
you
Love of
guys-
God's doing great things.
Are you guys gonna do a mug club?
We talked about it 3 years ago. We're still talking about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we will
Maybe
do it.
keep having that
maybe.
conversation.
It's in
I
the
wanna
top.
do
This
it-
is my for love.
I want to
of
do it in
God.
a way that
Was that what
isn't
it's
just
called?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
isn't just you get more ounces of a beer. I want to do something like a little more
Exclusive.
meaningful, like have like an exclusive tap for
Yeah.
Mug Club
Oh, that's a
members.
good
or
idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
see that's
I
dope.
think
See, they
that's
do
just a
that
little
at
more
the, they
legit.
do that at Manitou Tap
Yeah,
House.
Manitou does
like
that,
they'll
don't they?
like if they get like barrel aged stuff.
Yeah.
Then like the Mug Club members have like exclusive like like
I want to do
pours out of
something.
it
I
for
want
a
to do
while.
something a little more, not meaningful, but just a little more intentional that way.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a quick break before we go on. I want to get more beer.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, let's take a quick little 5-minute break, and we'll be right back.
I
Real
loved
world,
it.
just the real world San Diego.
Any of it.
I always wanted to be on it because I think it would be so fun. Yeah.
I haven't
It's just
counted,
reality
like-
TV. You get voted off, right?
No, you
No.
don't get voted off at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty much you are put in a house with a bunch of crazy people,
Yeah.
and you're filled full of
This is
alcohol,
the
so
true
you
story.
purposely get
Get in
wild.
fights and
Yeah.
show
We don't have
rules
jobs.
and-
We have
You
like
sleep
fake
with other
jobs,
people.
and there's no
So,
Yeah.
just, so you
There's
just
no
sleep with
TV.
each other and fight with each other.
Yep, that's
Yes.
Oh, so
exactly
it's
it.
great TV.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that makes sense.
But also, like you saying, this amazing house.
Wasn't it like the most longest running it's like one of the longest running. It was the longest running reality TV show. It went on for like 20 seasons or something.
It's still
Really?
Going, still going
Still
on.
going on?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's crazy.
Wow, I haven't had cable
I
in
also
so long. So
like if I was more adventurous, I always thought Road Rules would be fun.
is that still going on?
No,
too?
that does not go on.
What's
anymore.
Road Rules?
So Road
So it's like the
Rules,
same thing, but you're in
same
an
concept.
RV.
No, and,
And
you
you go
had
do
challenges.
challenges.
So you had to like do something super scary
Was it
or
MTV?
jump off. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't have cable.
I would love. I mean, MTV would be such a fun company to work for. I feel like corporate AF, but really fun.
I don't know about now.
What
but,
about-
like? I bet back in the day it would have been super.
Remember when spring break was a cool thing to like go do
Totally.
something?
That's what I'm
like
saying,
you go to
like-
Daytona Beach on
Dude,
spring break.
when I went to
Yeah.
I went to
Cancun,
Daytona
like
Beach one time.
Mexico,
I couldn't imagine.
Not
I never
for
got
break.
to.
MTV
Oh, God.
But it felt-
had took over this freaking club that had like 5 levels to it, and like I saw like Method Man, and then a week. Dude, lot
All
of
the
Method
boobs.
Man.
Dude, I would hang out with these guys. So the same time that I was down there was like a convention for nude and non-nude websites.
Okay.
And so like I met these people riding the
Wait,
bus.
isn't
and
that
I'm just
all
like,
websites?
It was like a porn. It was like a porn convention. It was
Yeah.
like a porn convention.
Yeah.
Like website porn convention.
Like softcore, hardcore,
yeah,
or
Okay.
all of it.
Softcore, hardcore.
It's like all-
well,
Like nude, non-nude porn sites.
That's a non-nude porn site.
yeah.
I don't know, like
for
where they're wearing
more
like
Middle
underwear. Or
school,
whatever.
when
Yeah.
you're like making out, holding hands.
It's that. What is it? SFW? Is that what it is?
Safe for work.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
my.
wondering what that.
Safe
meant.
for work porn.
Yeah.
I should make a website. I'm sure that
So
exists.
dumb.
That's where they Photoshop over it, and they like draw in, and then they'll be like playing a saxophone or like playing a band. And
I've seen
the gifts
that.
and stuff. I've seen them
Yes,
too. Right?
it's
Yeah.
so great.
I think it's called
Wait,
Safe Work. I think it's
I'm-
SFW porn.
I'm looking this up.
Type Safe for Work
right
porn,
now.
and then you'll see the gifts.
God.
It's like a girl on a mandolin, she like diddling a mandolin.
That reminds me of Homestar Runner. Did you guys ever watch that?
Homestar
Runner.
Runner?
You never saw that?
Is it a show or
No, it was like YouTube before YouTube existed.
Oh, E-Bombs World.
No,
E-Bombs
Oh
World.
my
I remember
gosh.
that. Does E-Bombs World still exist?
Probably.
yeah.
Can you still watch people die on that
This
website?
is so.
God.
Oh,
That's
you're
a
right. You
terrible
could do that.
I'm pretty sure I watched somebody like get their head cut off on that show
Gross.
once, and it like messed with me for like probably like 2 months.
I remember when that happened.
Ugh.
When they were doing like the
Ugh.
like the
like the ISIS.
ISIS, like
Yeah,
they cut off the guy's
like,
head.
ugh,
And on,
dude.
I
remember that
I
too.
couldn't do it. I couldn't watch it.
I couldn't either.
Somebody was just like, "Hey, check this out," and I'm just like,
Yeah, see?
I'm like, "Is that real?" And then like, what is it? Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's great.
The best part is somebody has to draw while they just look at that picture for 4 hours.
No.
What is she? It is really funny, actually.
Why? Oh my god, this is.
What you got now? Is that
Wow, this is
That was just real
away.
porn.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank
Yeah.
you. That is hilarious.
It's a thing.
Saving that for our high AF cast.
I remember
that would be fun.
on E-Bombs World seeing a guy. This guy took a fluorescent light
Oh,
and just like hit him across the back with it. He didn't have a shirt on, and it was all fine. Like nothing happened. And then like maybe 5 seconds later,
everything just starts going. Yeah.
blood just started running like crazy, and everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta take a shower, man." I was like, "That guy's gonna die."
No, that was a big thing. Remember when backyard wrestling was like a thing, like
Yeah.
the ICP,
Oh, yeah.
and you would like do backyard
my
wrestling, they'd
gosh.
hit each other with fluorescent bulbs.
Don't
Yeah.
even.
I feel like that's still a thing.
That happened in
That's
Spokane,
still
I'm
a
sure.
thing.
Uh,
oh, it
I didn't
totally.
live in
that
I'm
neighborhood.
sure it
But,
didn't live in that neighborhood.
but I'm sure there was that neighborhood.
I
Yeah.
had that friend. He did like a trampoline wrestling like thing with his buddies,
Yes.
and they would like jump off trampolines off their house and then
Listen to
on to like.
ICP.
Nice.
No, it was called backyard wrestling.
They
Oh,
were juggalos.
yeah, I thought they were closely affiliated, like the Juggalos and the backyard wrestling.
Okay, wait. No, I was watching someone's Instagram story, and there was a photo of them with this kid named Nate, and he was a juggalo for Halloween. And I like messaged him, and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Did you really do that?" And he looked just like.
You should do that sometime, Andrew.
Well, I was a Joker this year, so
That was
I feel
good.
like I channeled
Yeah.
my inner clown.
ICP.
I even listened to the Great Malenko when I was doing my
Was
makeup.
that a song? Is that the song? Is that a
It's
song?
it's an ICP album.
You listened to the whole album?
No, I just listened to a song.
Oh, wow,
But
I was
the
like-
song is called The Great Malenko.
Okay.
Anyhow, moving along from this conversation topic.
ICP.
Andrew doesn't want to talk about how she was a juggler.
Were you a Juggalo?
A juggalette.
A Juggalette? What's that awesome song where they talk Miracles? Miracles is a dope song.
Dude, wasn't
Magnets,
didn't
how does that
like,
work?
Didn't that like go up for a Grammy?
Oh.
That reaction was everything.
Okay, we don't need to talk
No.
about ICP every
Not quite.
cast.
We should start we should see if we can't get the rights to an ICP song.
Yeah, that needs to be a
Get
game.
Intro
Get
on
Miracles.
music.
Dude, that needs to be a game, like the ICP game or
The
the
Netting
Juggalo
game?
game. I don't know. It needs, like
That's the song, too.
something about it needs to be.
Miracles
a
is a good song, guys.
That's a good idea
I
for a
don't know
game.
Miracles.
It's the
Is that,
one.
like,
It's
new?
the one where they
Yeah,
just
I
talk
have an
about
idea.
like basic
'Cause the
science,
You're welcome.
Juggalo
and they
Yep.
don't know how it
is
works.
Very
Let me
complex.
get this.
Exactly.
this
Type in Miracles. The video's great
save
too.
For work porn
The
off my
the
phone.
video
The video
is
to Miracles
so
is nice
good.
because it's just like he's
Don't
just
they have like fake space in the
magnets.
background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that
yeah.
work? The Earth is round.
Like
what
nobody
the hell,
knows.
man? And they don't know how science works, and that's the whole video. And then it's guys has
This
this.
is definitely
Did it
like
win a VMA?
newer ICP. Like,
Go to the real video.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We can't play
Okay,
this.
this song
I mean, you can
definitely.
play like 30 seconds
That's
of it,
true.
right?
We can. Yeah, we can.
Okay, it
We're
definitely
not
wasn't up
review-
for a
like,
Grammy.
You can play the whole. You can play
When
30
did
seconds. Then we're
this
gonna
come
review it.
out? I'm looking this up.
Did you see Macklemore's new album?
No.
So I think
I haven't
it's-
heard that name in a minute.
Yeah. his
Speaking of
last
white
stuff wasn't
rappers.
great. I think it's real, but he's like been getting into Magic, like not the Gathering, but like the card tricks.
No.
And
Hell
his new
yeah.
album is going to be Magic Rap, whatever that means. And I think that he like does magic while he raps.
That's
No.
so,
I promise. I promise.
Okay,
That's
let's.
so dope. I just dude showed me a card trick the other. I'm like, hey, what are you doing over here? Because if it's magic, like I want in on it.
Yeah.
And of course he does as a card trick, and he got me, and I'm the gullible guy.
And
I'm
then
like,
I owed
damn,
him
dude.
$10.
I was mad. I was really trying to watch hard, but he got me. Sleight of hand.
Anyways,
People
I'm
are
pretty sure
sneaky.
Macklemore's new album is based on Magic.
Magic the Gathering rap.
No, the card
Gathering.
tricks, not the Gathering.
I'm so excited. I love Macklemore.
I like
I
Magic the
remember-
I
Gathering.
used to love him so
Like,
much, and then now I just don't care about him.
It's because his music's not good anymore. The Heist is great.
That's because he had Ryan Lewis, man. Spokane.
Yeah,
The
Ryan
Heist-
Lewis.
the
is
Heist-
hell.
the
Spokane
Ryan Lewis
had his-
production was good.
Had its stamp on that album.
Yep. But his stuff before that was good.
Yeah.
I didn't know ICP
It
was
was
still putting out
fine.
music. Sorry, I'm done looking at things. They put out an album this year. Interesting. Macklemore.
Really?
What are your thoughts on the new Kanye?
I love it. I really do.
I will fight someone who says that this album isn't good
Yeah.
because it is amazing.
It's amazing.
I haven't
It is
listened
So
to it.
we're
amazing.
not
I haven't
getting,
listened to it yet.
the thing is,
so.
we're not getting like Beautiful Dark Twisted level like production anymore, which is fine. Kanye's got 4 kids and he cares about fashion a little more. But I've gotten so much joy out of this album.
Yeah.
I listen to it so much.
I'm not a Christian. I feel I'm very agnostic, and I love just listening to it when I run. I just like
Yeah.
it's such a
can
good,
see that.
a good solid.
What is it? God knows? Is that God knows?
Oh.
God is.
God.
Well, there's a few
no,
songs
no,
that start with God, but God
almost,
is the jam.
What is
Follow
that?
God. On God.
no.
Ooh, on
Well,
God.
On God's really
It's like
good.
the third song. What
On
is
God.
it? What is it? The third song.
On God. Sela. No,
that
Sela's
song
2.
hits so hard.
Yeah, it's on God.
It's so good.
And he got clips back together after like 13
Yeah, you got
years.
Follow
back
God.
together. Follow God. Yeah.
Follow God.
I don't
That
even
song
know
is so
who,
dope.
Sounds great.
Who
That
it
song's
is that they
badass.
got back together.
Clips?
Use This Gospel. Use This Gospel.
I love
Kenny
the album.
G.
Wait, so is it a Christian rap album?
Yeah, it's Christian.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all gospel
It's all,
lyrics.
yeah, it's all
Yeah.
gospel. Yeah.
There is
So,
no
like, is
parental
the church
advisory.
supporting this album?
No,
Like,
but my
he
church
just,
talked
like-
about it.
They did.
Kind of.
They just like is what made him want to like go that direction.
He's always kind of like had a little bit of that.
Jesus
Okay.
walks.
Yeah, he started
yeah.
with he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about God, my record won't
there's
get
like
played, huh?
Yeah. There's a clip that goes. There's a clip that goes
But
around of him
he got
talking
away,
about.
and then he just went like full God, or he just went like full into the word in the last year. After
and he
went-
was talking about that for like 10 years. Like there was like a clip from him like 8 years ago, and he's just like, in 10 years,
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
on the Big Boy
be,
interview.
I want to be like a straight up gospel
Yeah.
rapper. Like I want to be making gospel music.
yeah,
So
it's always
he's
kind of been
just
part of his
doing his
identity, I
thing.
think. But now it's just like full force. I mean, he's crazy.
Yeah, he's
Definitely
effing
crazy.
crazy.
So,
Yeah.
so
He's
he,
not
when he
like-
goes something,
he's not normal.
When he does something, he does something.
Yeah. But
You know.
musically, he is a
Well,
genius.
clearly he's going to be successful. So.
Oh yeah.
He already is.
Okay,
right?
I just
Like,
I've been getting texts about the album for like since it came out, but ninth number one, 9th consecutive number one album. It's the most ever by an artist.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That's
It's crazy.
great.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Ties him
I'll have
in.
to listen to it.
it's 27 minutes. There's no reason not
Yeah.
to.
It's
Oh,
yeah. It's
short.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
it's really short.
Quick into the minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be way shorter than this podcast. Anyhow, okay, moving along. All of our podcasts are like an hour and 45 minutes ish, at least. So for someone who's never is not a beer drinker, what, I mean, do people ever come in here like that? They've never like
All the
and
time.
Do they ask for wine or cider?
Yeah,
or,
we'll
like,
sell quite a bit of wine and
LaCroix?
cider.
Yep.
We have the downtown crowd thing, and we're close to the Fox, so and like the knitting factory. So and then we have a lot of. I think we get a lot of people that want to go to Whistle Punk because we're doing like certain kinds of beers or whatever. That,
Yeah.
Like beer, especially like the beer like nerd culture is really into, and so we get a lot of people I think that are just like with them or like they get brought in here because of that. So we try to cater to that. We have wine and cider, but we try to also do like a kind of a wide array of beers. So we always have something real light, like a lager, like a Helles lager that we
Something
can
for everybody.
Yeah, a little something for everyone. And then we've been doing these sours right now, which we're drinking right now, that are like if you're not a beer person, a lot of people are not into beer but love sours.
They're so good.
They are good.
Do you know what I think is super crazy about you guys? It's kind of like, though, there's two things. One is it's kind of like the Costco thing where you fall in love with something and then they no longer carry it.
Yeah.
Like you make a beer and then you love it and
Yeah.
then it's gone. And like there's a grieving process.
Yeah.
But then you put out something else that's really wonderful. And the other thing is that, yeah, you guys are pumping out different kinds of beer like all the time.
Yeah.
I even I come pretty frequently. I know I don't come like as much as some people. There's definitely like a regulars crew here.
Yeah, we
which
have a regulars crew
I
for
love.
sure.
But it is, I feel like there is a new beer on tap, like every 2 weeks?
More than that, I think last year we put on like 120 different beers.
That is insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have like a journal? How do you keep track of all? Do you really?
Yeah, so I mean, every
of
recipe,
these?
like I have them in binders. So we have like 8 binders.
But you
full.
never make the same thing again, right?
Not much. We make a lot of
Yeah.
we always have hazy IPAs on, but the hops change every time. The malts will change sometimes. But like, it's going to be, if you liked one, you're going to like them.
Yeah, that's what's cool. So if someone just like, oh, you don't have this, and it's like, no, but if you like that, try this.
Yeah.
And
I've never had a bad beer.
Yeah, we try to hit all the style ranges, and then we try to like, if we take something off, we try to replace it with something that's going to be similar but better, or just different, or more seasonal, or
120.
yeah,
That's crazy.
a lot of different beer. Yeah.
I also feel like I'm not a stout drinker,
Yeah.
but y'all got like a lot of stout, and it's like stout season. Right?
Yeah, we have 4 in kegs right now, new ones coming out. So as soon as we start freeing up taps, those will be on. I think we're going to put a couple on for Black Friday. We did like a coconut stout with cocoa nibs, and then that's an imperial milk stout, and then we did a imperial oatmeal stout with tons and tons and tons of chocolate.
Are you gonna do any more sherbets this year?
These beers are basically sherbets.
Yeah.
The
That's
next
my
one I think
favorite.
is going to be like,
So good.
we have
It's
one going
amazing.
now. We got raspberry. We might do something like raspberry coffee or something something cool. Yeah. My
Explain
brother-
a sherbet to someone who doesn't know what
yeah,
it is.
so we're just doing, I mean, it's just kind of a made up thing, but it's basically a soured wheat beer that we're adding like milk sugar to, so like lactose, so it adds residual body and kind of like an underlying sweetness, but it's not like sucrose sweetness. And then we usually do like a pound of fruit per gallon in it. And then we'll do different things. Like this last couple batches, we did cinnamon and vanilla, so it kind of like tricked you into thinking like pie crust. So we did a cherry one with sweet cherries, and then we did one with blueberry. So the blueberry was like a crumble, and then the cherry was like a cherry pie.
the key lime.
And the key lime was awesome.
Was
I'd
it
like to do the key lime again and do some cinnamon and vanilla in
it
it
was
because I think it would be
so
like awesome.
Good.
That was
Abby,
good.
your wife we had the key lime together. Also, you
the
did
key lime was nice.
some other like great recent flavors like the spicy. You had a spicy IPA.
a spicy IPA here?
Oh yeah.
No, you
yeah.
had it somewhere else.
Or it was like Thai or something.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
the Saison, the
The
Thai one. That was a
Yeah,
collab
see?
with Perry.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really good.
That was really crazy.
So was that? It was a Saison with Thai chilies
Thai
in
chilies,
it.
yeah.
That was really
That was
good.
I had
Lemons
that.
and
That
Thai
was really
chilies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was it had like a little like back end like in your
A little heat,
yeah, totally.
but not
Yeah, just a-
overbearing. It
the
was good.
strawberry milkshake this year.
Yeah.
That was
We
like
haven't done a milkshake in a while.
Straight
We need to
up
do that.
crack. Like
Yeah, the milkshake was great.
So good.
When I was told I couldn't fill a crowler, it was devastating.
We're expanding our systems. We'll be able to fill crowlers of everything
Yeah.
now.
So before we get too further in like
Yeah.
to the beers you make, so tell us about Whistle Punk and like when you guys started it, and
We already talked.
like we didn't really talk about. We talked about when he started brewing beer.
Brewing,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We don't really know the story of Whistle Punk, and I
Yeah.
would, for the listeners, I'd like them to know
Yeah.
the story of Whistle Punk. Like,
Oh yeah, where the name came from.
Oh, yeah, where did the name come from?
So what this is actually a funny story. When we started, it was like my brother was involved. He has a brewery up in Vancouver now, BC. But
right.
that was like before that was ever a plan. And so we were like Hanson Brothers Brewing, and then we ended up like getting in a legal battle with the Hanson Brother Band. And so,
Really?
yeah, for real. Like the
Mbop
yeah.
kids.
And so we were getting like cease and desist letters all the time. And we had the name first, so we were in the right, but it just kept going on. And we were to the point where we wanted to make it like a full business.
Yeah.
And like sign a lease and like for me to quit my job. So we were just about to change. And then they sent us a letter basically saying they'd kind of back pay our attorney fees. So we kind of broke even on the deal, which worked because it took us a lot of time and quite a bit of money. But and we got like a picture as a joke. Kind of we put in like the contract, like we want a signed photo of the band.
Autographed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just kind of as a joke. And then their attorney put like, okay, they're on tour, but it'll come to you. And we were kind of laughing about it. And then sure enough, like 6 months later.
No.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You got one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll show
Zach
you.
Taylor and Isaac, all three of them.
We'll show you after this
Yeah.
airs.
And then
We have it.
so then we wanted to keep it like family based. My family was all timber industry, loggers and stuff. So we said let's do like a logging theme, like it's super prominent in the Northwest, you know. And,
Totally.
And there's like a lot of great names. Like logging has just like all these crazy industry like slang terms and things.
Heck
So
yeah.
my dad just going through, we were just like sitting over a beer and going through, and he was just saying all these crazy old logging names, and we were getting on the internet, you know, seeing if there's trademarks taking it or anything like that. And so Whistle Punk like immediately was like caught everyone's ear right away because it just sounds like a brewery name or something, you know. And then it turns out there was not really like too much presence for it on the internet or anything, so we started digging into that one, and that's what we chose. And so Whistle Punk, back before there was like walkie-talkies, it was like there was a big steam engine that ran the logging camp. It was a big steam donkey. And so the Whistle Punk was the kid that kind of ran there was a whistle on it, steam whistle. And so he would like signal the logging camp with like different toots of the whistle.
That's so great.
So it's kind of like simple Morse code or something, but he was the Whistle Punk.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome.
Back
Yeah.
when it was cool
I didn't
and
know
kosher
that. I
just
did
to
not know that
call
about the
kids punks
name.
all the time. Like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, you
Yeah.
punk.
Yeah.
So your family came from logging?
A lot of my family was in like timber industry in Montana. So
Or I
my
was gonna
dad
say
was a
North
logger,
Idaho.
my grandparents and stuff. So
I have
So
North
how long have
Idaho
you been in this
logging.
space now? Not this
2.5, 3 years.
space,
We've
but-
had this lease for 3 years, I guess now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been open for like almost 2.5 years over there, and then this space is just a few months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
expanded.
yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
expansion.
How's the expansion going?
Great. Yeah. We still haven't like fully fleshed out everything, but we have a ton of private parties, and it's been great. Like, there's a lot of days it just fills up over there, so it's nice we can expand into here, and we've been able to do just a lot of different things because of it. So it's been awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just love the space.
Yeah,
so
it's a cool space.
Yeah.
So
This door is
yeah,
amazing.
The door is dope.
yeah, we're super happy with it.
So what was the first beer you brewed for Whistle Punk?
It was we brewed an IPA. Actually, the first beer we brewed was kind of a test beer. We never even like put it out. We just had a bunch of like random grains. We just wanted to see if everything could work. It was like a brown ale or something. But the first beer we put out was it was a hazy IPA back before that was like really a thing in this area, especially. It was before Great Notion was there. So like there was breweries doing them on the East Coast, but it was pretty like nobody was really doing them. And so people loved it. We like won an IPA competition with it during Beer Week, and like the Inlander did an article about it because it was so citrusy. It was like a Citra IPA, and people loved it. But a lot of bar owners were like, it's like pouring all hazy, and it's like, just serve it, like
That's what it's
people will
supposed
like
to
it.
be
It's supposed to be like that, but it was like people didn't know. And then I remember the Inlander did an article on it. This was like 4 years ago or something, and talking about how citrusy and juicy it was, and how it was like different than any IPA in Spokane. So that was kind of like a huge hit for us right off the bat, was doing those. So we just kept making a lot of those.
So before you were in this space, how
Yeah.
were people tasting your beer?
So we were selling it to certain bars. So
Okay.
like we were in Jones Radiator always had
Jones
quite a few
Radiator.
kegs of ours.
Yay.
Yeah. And then once Jones Radiator stopped, Observatory always had a few kegs.
Awesome.
Benedito's, both spots, would serve a lot of Whistle Punk beer. A couple places in the valley, and we did a couple kegs at like Manitou and stuff, but those were kind of the main spots. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Chris, you said your background, you were the head chef at Manitou Tap House,
Yeah, for a little while.
and
Oh,
how did
really?
you get? So how did you get into?
I did
Like,
not know that.
so is that how you got into
Well, so I have a culinary background. Like I've been a cook, chef, whatever, for like 20 years, and I was working at the Manito Tap House with the plan of like opening up a bottle shop within a year. Like me and a friend of mine wanted to open up a bottle shop, actually at a place that Matt was going to originally open up, Whistle Punk. Like a lot of people, we've all looked at this.
Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of people that have looked at this one
space
location.
That we, a lot of us and our friends like keep looking at to open something up, but this guy will not sell it. He's weird. But anyway, yeah. So I was like the chef up there for about a year, like just under that, and then this gig came up, and we just like slowly made it happen, and just prior to my year being up at the Tap House, I started working here full / part-time.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 4 days a week. It's pretty part-time.
Yeah.
But
Awesome. So, anybody got a question?
you got a question?
Got a question?
Do you have a question?
I mean, I have a lot of questions, but you're doing so good.
So good.
Thank you. No, I mean, I think the space is amazing. But so your first beer was the hazy IPA, and then you were getting your beer into places.
Yeah.
And so what led you to downtown?
So we wanted to be downtown. We knew like the beers we were making were semi-trend forward. And I've always just loved downtown. And so we wanted to be downtown. Our brewery's in Newman Lake, Washington, so it's like kind of like state line. So it's about 15, 20 miles east of here.
Okay, yeah.
But there's great water out there, and
there's no tap room out there.
And there's no tap room out there.
tap
Yeah,
room.
so we do the brewing
Don't
out
go
there.
there.
It's the property I grew up on, actually. So we built a brewery on the property, on my parents' property, and built the brewery out there. And then the water profile is so good out there, we didn't want to move the actual brewing operation to like city water or anything. Yeah. Which, I mean, there's a lot you can do with city water, like filter it out and stuff, but it's just we really like what we have going on out there, but we wanted the retail space to be downtown. So the whole time we were selling kegs, it was with the intention of opening a tap room. And we had a few places fall through on us, and we looked at a lot of different places, kind of kept running into roadblocks and things. But once this place happened, once this place came available, we talked to the landlords right away, and we were in here pretty quick. And this was I used to love, this was the space we're in is in the old Brooklyn Deli or Brooklyn Nights
Brooklyn
space.
Nights.
So I used to spend I used to love this bar. Yeah, it was like a bar that I had a lot of memories in, and so it was kind of a great fit.
Denise used to bartend here.
Denise
Jennings. Yeah,
Nice.
I think Jennings. She's rad.
Yeah, so I always just
dropping.
loved the space, and then like I say, being downtown was important to us. There's a lot of obviously advantages and disadvantages. Like people from the valley don't like coming downtown. They don't want to
People from
park.
the north
They come
side don't
downtown.
like coming
People,
downtown,
So
My dad will never come downtown.
Yeah, so you do miss a lot of that crowd. They'll come in like the one time a year they come downtown for a show or whatever. But
they bitch about it the whole time.
Where's the parking at?
It's so expensive and hard to find, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
I mean, it's a little hard to find.
No.
And a little.
I literally just paid for parking in that lot over there, and it was $4.
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like
would
that's
say,
a deal because usually I feel like it's like $20.
That's true.
Like everywhere is $20.
They do event parking
5
Yeah.
nights
Event
a
parking.
week, you will be able to find parking downtown.
Oh yeah.
There are
You just have to be
nights
willing
that's
to
a little
walk
tricky.
like a
You gotta be
block or
willing
two,
to walk,
which is
and-
not that bad.
Exactly, it's not that bad.
No,
And for all you Northsiders and Valley people that are listening to this, or even Coeur d'Alene,
we love you. I love you.
Sunday parking's free, and I've
It's
watched
free.
Meter
all the
Sunday
time.
parking.
Sunday
Oh, yeah,
meter.
so
Free.
many times. I just
Meter
watch people
Sundays.
feed meters.
I've watched
like,
multiple
I mean-
people feed them, and I always stop them. I always tell them,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, it's
I
free."
never
Like,
do.
Yeah.
I just like
always
to see their
like-
faces like, oh fuck.
I constantly get stopped. Like I'll be walking the dogs, be like, "How late do I have to pay the meter?" So I'm like 8 to 7, Monday through Saturday.
Is it 8 or is it 7?
8 to 7.
8
Okay.
a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Monday through Saturday. You gotta plug your meter, and if you don't have change, download the ppprk.com, go to the
Yeah.
website, create an
There's
account.
an app,
Super
too.
Easy.
Yeah.
There's an app too. I don't even use the app.
I don't use the app. I use
just
the
use
mobile
I use
website.
the app
Yeah,
all the
same.
time.
You do?
Yeah.
Mobile website's like just
The mobile
like,
website's
saves
great.
Saves my driver's license. My
Yeah, it
license
saves
plate.
all your
The
information.
app
Car, are.
exactly the same as the mobile website. So
Yeah.
Anyhow, there really like isn't I mean, it definitely. You're not gonna. It's not like you're going to fucking Target on the South Hill and driving into a parking lot.
That's true.
You
But
do
I
have
think
to walk a
people
little
just
bit. It's
want
worth
that,
it.
and
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
The parking lot at Target in the South Hill is insane. Like, be careful in that parking lot. Just saying.
Actually,
That's
let's
it.
talk about the worst parking lots in Spokane.
Costco?
Rosars.
I went to Costco.
Rosars on
Wait.
14th.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's a terrible
Rosars
one.
and Browns Edition.
Rosars and Browns
See,
is
I was
bad.
gonna
It is
say
the
Goodwill / the
worst.
gym on Northwest Boulevard. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Gosh,
I don't know
that
what it
parking
is
lot-
about that place. Like,
that parking lot is awful.
it's so crazy. And then there's like this one random spot where
Oh,
it looks like
Huckleberries,
it can
too.
fit maybe a motorcycle, but there's always a car that's just like, no. Like, I'm gonna get in here, and I'm just like, dude, I can't get into my car now. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my jam.
Okay, so let me see if I can not miss any of these. You have IPAs, Stout, Hefe, Blonde, Saison,
You're doing good.
Amber.
We don't make an amber.
Okay.
We have lots of beers that are like an amber.
What
Yeah.
what am I missing?
There's tons of styles of beers.
Yeah. Like
But
there's so many.
There's so many. So we have a lot of lagers right now, which like a
Lagers,
lager is just
Pilsners.
like a
Pilsners.
Like a-
that's right.
it's a type
a
of
light
yeast. Yeah, and it
light
doesn't have to be
beer.
light. Like we have a dark lager right now that
Oh,
looks
you
like a
do?
stout, but it's 4.8%. It's called
Schwarz
Oh,
Schwarz
that's
beer.
not bad at all.
Yeah, it's great.
Delicious.
It's low alcohol, but it's lagered, so it's cold fermented, and it's a different type of yeast, but it does drink like really nice and crisp. But you get some of those like awesome like chocolatey coffee stout notes, kind of roasty, toasty.
Yeah, if you like a stout, but you want something that's like a little bit lighter for like ABV and even like it's just it's
Mouthfeel
not
and
as
stuff,
heavy.
yeah.
So
Yeah, stouts are like a meal. I think that's probably where.
Yeah.
I mean, even though sometimes like I feel like hazy IPA, like
It's a
I,
Oh,
big
those are
beer.
meals
it's a
too.
big
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, like and
Viscous
though
and-
I'll have like 3 of them and then be on my ass and then not eat. No, and they're like so good and they're so easy to drink.
Yeah.
But anyhow, go ahead.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
So let's say you're starting out drinking beer and you're not really knowing what to get into.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best type of beer to like
So that's a weird.
do the palate for the
I feel like
palate?
it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. There's a lot of people. It used to be IPAs, like people would like they would describe them as bitter or piney or like pine cone, which is what a lot of those old hops were. So like a lot of the old Yakima hops, like they call them like the C hops, like Cascade, Chinook, Centennial. They were like bitter and piney and maybe like grapefruit pith and resin, but they were
not
a
as
lot
like
of that,
fruit forward.
not as like tropical
as,
fruit
like
forward. And a lot
Citra,
of these,
Simcoe.
yeah, a lot of these newer
Galaxy.
hops are so tropical fruit forward, and then the way people are brewing with them, they're doing a lot of like dry hopping or whirlpool hopping, so they're not extracting a lot of bitterness out of the hops, but they're giving a lot of like aromatics. So some of these hazy IPAs, people say, I hate IPA, and Chris will pour them a hazy IPA of ours, and they're like, what's this? This is
"Oh,
my
I love
favorite
this."
one.
Yeah.
He's like, it's an IPA.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they're
and so,
so
that
good.
has kind of changed in the beer world. But like, if say you're used to like drinking like Bud Light or something, we have like a Helles Lager on a lot. That's a super light, really nice beer that would usually please you. We do a Mexican lager once a year that everyone loves. I love that beer.
Cerveza.
When does
Cerveza.
that come out?
We do it like in May usually.
Yeah,
Cool.
Simcoe.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We'll
So
release it like,
good.
springtime. It's a great beer.
Yeah.
But it's nice and light. And then a lot of people like the espresso stout. People love that beer that aren't beer people a lot of times because it does have a lot of like coffee notes and there's the vanilla in it. And
Yeah, it's just
so
like
there's-
chocolate, coffee,
yeah.
vanilla, and people are like, what is this? Is
Yeah.
a beer?
Yeah, and so it doesn't necessarily like manifest itself in like as like beer. And then some of these sours too, like the sherbet beers we were talking about. Sometimes
Oh.
they're just like so fruit forward. They'll taste like pie. They'll taste like they're like sweet candy-ish. So some
They're
of those are
amazing.
like great to start with. Yeah,
The Goza?
yeah, the Goza.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
those
haven't
are
done
really
a Goza in
yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, it has that. Is that
Yeah,
like
we
the
need to
more
brew a
summer,
Goza.
right?
yeah. So Goza's like this is actually really similar to a Goza. Goza would be a wheat beer that's soured, so that's the base of this. With a Goza, you would typically add salt and coriander, which we've done Gozas. We just haven't in a while. But this beer starts as a Goza. We just don't add the salt and coriander, and then we like bastardize it with a bunch of other stuff.
Also, your spruce tip.
Yeah, that spruce
Oh,
tip's nice.
God, that was.
We're actually putting out all of our Christmas beers soon, so
What?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, can you say what is coming
yeah, we're
out
doing
soon?
like we did. Like I said, we're doing like that coconut chocolate milk stout. We're doing a big oatmeal stout with tons and tons and tons of chocolate in it. We have a like a Kolsch or a cream ale with coffee and vanilla beans.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like a light beer with coffee and vanilla beans. It's really neat.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then we do one of the beers that really got me into drinking beer was Sierra Nevada's Celebration. So it's kind of an old school like malty IPA.
Such a good beer.
Such a great beer. So we do like just a straight up rip off of that beer as kind of a tribute, and something we've been brewing for a long time. And
We did a taste test of
every
that
year.
last year.
I was just gonna say, I remember coming in
and-
here and you being like, "Try this."
Yeah.
Like you're not telling me anything. You're
Yeah,
like,
we've-
"Try this,"
Yeah.
and then try this.
We've
and I
nailed
was
it.
like-
We've gotten it pretty close, like
Yeah.
color wise and flavor, like hop profile wise.
It was pretty spot on.
Yeah, we've
last
pretty
year.
much
that was,
nailed it.
That was so awesome.
So anyway, so this year I'm hoping to like get the water profile a little better. But anyways, we just do that as like a tribute to that beer because I love that beer, and it's a winter IPA basically. And then we'll do a couple others, like really small batch stuff.
And I mean, for shopping local and being downtown, this is like the perfect spot
Yeah.
to come in. You guys open at 4.
We do flights.
Yeah, you have flights,
Crowlers.
you have crowlers.
Yeah.
Boom, gift cards,
Yeah. It's
merch,
also
depending on size.
Yeah, you
Size.
have like cute little like baby. Who was it that was like you have you have merch that just says punk and someone was it Peyton didn't
Oh, Ori.
realize. Oh, was it? Or someone was like, I didn't realize it was like whistle punk. That was like the punk shirt.
Oh, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
Maybe.
we have the punk onesies.
Yep.
So cute.
You can buy them as a girl, the baby shirts, and just wear them as like
A crop top.
Oh yeah. Yep. Might be a little under boob,
Oh, that
but
sounds
whatever.
great.
It's,
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I'll
yeah.
take one of those.
Yeah, right.
Never have too many crop tops.
Do you guys have you ever done it? Do you do triples?
Yeah, no, we've done one. We have a Belgian strong on right now, which is like a
Okay.
really similar to a triple.
I might have to try that before I leave.
Yeah, it's really nice. But we have not done just a straight up triple. We did one ever. But the Belgian strong is actually, I mean, it's a really similar beer. Yeah.
Nice.
Where do you guys
Yeah.
get your hops? Do you use like the same? Like, how do
So
you even
we-
go about that process? Is it the same
We're small
like
enough
farmer?
brewery.
or-
Yeah, so most of our hops are out of Yakima. If we can get like Galaxy or some of the Australian or New Zealand hops are really nice. We could just get them when we can source them. But we're a small enough brewery that we basically we buy off like what they call the spot market. So a lot of big breweries will contract hops. So they basically estimate what they need on a year, and that's breweries who are making the same beers like year round, like have staples that they need to like fulfill. So they estimate how much they need per year, and they contract it. And then what happens is a lot of breweries over contract because they don't want to be short, and they know on like especially a lot of the hops they can just unload their contract if they need. So we basically buy off of breweries who over contract. So most of our hops come from relationships we've built in the brewing industry and just like stuff you can find on the spot market online. But yeah, which is why we brew so seasonally and different all the time, partly because of that.
Why is Yakima like
Just-
such?
It's the parallel, it's the weather, it's like the amount of sun they get. So it's the best growing hop region in the world, basically.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah, and so
They grow what,
like 70% of
of
America's
the
hops.
world. I think it was like 80% of America's,
Yeah.
and like I feel like it's around 60% of like the world's
yeah.
hops.
A lot of those
Wow.
like
Yeah.
German hops and things like that, they're kind of like noble hops that just they're not as like in vogue as they used to be. So
Yeah.
it's like Yakima's kind of cornered the market on all these crazy high alpha, high oil content aroma hops, or I mean
Citrus
high
hops.
aroma, citrus, tropical fruit, like hops, and they have so much money behind a lot of these companies that they patent there's like patents like on the varietals.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can't, so nobody else can even grow them. So like Mosaic, Citra, Simcoe, all these, and like Australia has it with like Galaxy and Nelson Sauvin, which are two really like awesome hops that are tough to get and no one else in the world can grow them. So, but Yakima's really cornered a lot of that. They just, and they put out new ones every year, which is really cool. Like a new one we've been using is Sabro, which has been out for just a couple years, but pretty new to the market.
It's so good.
And it's like throws like tons of notes like coconut, and it's a hop. We actually have a beer on it right now, or a beer
Crazy.
on with it right now. Yeah, it's a really nice hop.
You know so much. Like, I didn't know there was so much to know.
Yeah, right.
So all these
mean,
hops
yeah.
come from the Tri-Cities or from
Yeah,
Yakima.
Yakima, sorry.
That
And,
whole area, but
is
yeah.
there? Is there a really good brewery that's in that area?
Yeah, there is.
Like-
It was kind of like a little bit of a wasteland for a while, but it's a lot's changed in the last couple of years. So like Bale Breakers
Oh, okay.
over there, so Bale
Bale
Breakers
Breakers,
obviously killing it.
awesome.
And then there's a brewery. There's quite a few, but a brewery that we've been working pretty close with and is a really fantastic brewery. It's called Varietal in Sunnyside, Washington. And Varietal, he was the brewer there was a brewery at Bale Breaker.
Okay.
But anyways, he's doing fantastic stuff out of Sunnyside, Washington.
Yeah.
Winning a lot of awards and things like that. So
He's
that
got killer
area's
stuff.
growing.
It just seems like if like Columbia Valley,
yeah.
all these wineries are there, like you'd think that
Correct.
there'd be some.
No, it's happening now, but
you'd
it's
see-
funny because
yeah.
it wasn't that way.
Yeah, it's
5
got
years
it's got to
ago.
catch up.
Yeah.
But
How do
But-
you feel like about what's to come in the like scene in Spokane? I mean,
There's a lot happening,
there-
obviously. Like
we have 40 breweries in the area. Like
yeah, there's a ton.
I mean, the ale. I remember doing the ale trail years ago, and being like, holy shit, we went to 12 new
Yeah,
breweries,
yeah.
and now I also don't really leave my circle much.
No, but
anymore,
there's a ton, and there's a lot opening, and there's a lot of big breweries opening. So the whole landscape of beer in Spokane's changing drastically, especially in the next 4 months. We have Lumberbeard opening at the other end of
Yeah.
downtown, which is I think like a 20-barrel brew house so they're going to put out a lot of beer. And that guy's a good brewer. He was brewing at a brewery called The Brewery in
Brewery.
Placentia, California. It's
yeah,
in California.
yeah, Orange County.
Orange County area.
Yeah.
But they're a fantastic brewery over there. And then Brick West is opening just a block and a half away. And they're a 15-barrel brew house or a 20-barrel brew house with big fermenters. So they're going to be putting out a ton of beer. And to put this in reference, that's 5 times bigger than us. So
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
cow.
so they're putting out a lot of beer.
Hidden Mother.
Hidden Mother just opened up, and they're putting out quite a bit of beer. They're brewing out at Selkirk Abbey, which I think is a 20-barrel brew house, and then they have their own 5-barrel brew house at their facility, so they're making a lot of beer. Yaya in the Valley just
Yaya's
opened
got
up.
10 barrels, yeah.
And they're 10 or 15-barrel
I think-
brew
yeah,
house.
Yeah.
So
They're
there's a lot of.
crushing it.
What
there's
about
gonna be
there's
a-
one opening up on
yeah.
the South Hill next
Paramore or
to
something?
Gordy's?
Oh, yeah, what's that called? Oh, man.
For the Love of God open
No,
as well.
For the Love of God open. He's tiny like us.
Yeah,
So he's very taproom focused like us. But there's a lot of distribution breweries opening though. Snow Eater's going to open in Liberty Lake at some point, and they're a big brew house.
Yeah. I think they're on 15.
15 or yeah.
Do you ever want to go bottle into
it's-
cans?
No. So our goal was to be taproom focused and then just have a few accounts. And
Cool.
unfortunately, with our size, we haven't been able to serve the bars we wanted to since we opened this, which is a good problem because it's where your margins are. But we're picking up a boil kettle on Thursday. Where by mid-January, we'll be brewing on our new system fully. So we'll be making about triple the beer we are now.
Oh, wow.
Which would be great. It's still really small, very small, but we'll be able to serve a lot of the bars that we used to be in and take care of a lot of our friends and stuff that want us on tap. And so
Well,
we're
and-
lucky we have a high demand for it.
And maybe do a little bit of
And then-
tap room can sales.
and then we'll have a fridge full of taproom cans.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Because isn't part of your size the ability that you're able to put out 120 different
Exactly.
kinds of beers, which
Yeah.
it is. I mean, as coming here as much as I do, I never get bored with the beers.
Yeah, that
I
was-
could literally come here 4 nights a week, and
Yeah.
I might always right now drink the sweet cherry pie because it's
Yeah.
amazing. But
and that was the
you
plan
know,
from the beginning, is to be a tap room that serves everything 99% of the beer out of our own taps.
That's
We
great.
know what the beer tastes like, and then we can rotate heavily. And so that was kind of the business concept from the beginning. And then, like I say, it's where your margins are too. So to make money doing distribution, it's hard to get on tap places now because there's so much competition. There's a lot of good beer out there, but also you have to do it at a level that is pretty big to have any significant profits from it. Otherwise, it just comes you're just kind of turning your wheels. It's a lot of work to not make a ton.
yeah,
So that was very intentional.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be any burnout? With
Yeah, people
all
talk
these-
about it.
Because we were talking about all these breweries
Yeah.
coming up in the next
4 months.
in the next 4 months,
Yeah.
and I just feel like that's so many breweries.
It is.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, we get I get a lot of people that come in here that are just how long have you been here? And I say 2.5 years, and they're just wow. And I'm where have you been? And they're
Yeah.
part of Spokane.
Yeah, no, for sure. No,
in
I mean, I
Spokane,
think it's a
just
great thing. I just think
not in this area.
I just think it's crazy how many breweries are popping
You're
up.
starting to see them close finally, not in
Okay.
Spokane, but
Big
they talked
breweries,
about the
too.
bubble for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've hit that yet, but it will happen. And you're starting to see, I think, 3 breweries closed in Portland this week.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
wow.
So it's happening.
Well, you definitely have to stay I
And
feel like
it's a
you
lot
have
of
to
the breweries
stay
that have been around
relevant
for a long time.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, the cool thing about what we have going on is that we're constantly changing beers.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you might be sick of this, but then we changed it, so it's different now, and it like keeps people interested, keeps people exciting, keeps us excited. Instead of doing just like the same beer over and over and over and over and over, which is cool. Like we have our 2 beers, the Hefeweizen, amazing beer, espresso milk stout, amazing beer.
We do the Czech Pills now too, yeah.
Czech Pills, amazing beer, and people come in and drink those like constantly. But then, I still get people ask for Coast to Coast, and I'm like, we've evolved from that, and like this is the style that like we're doing this style. It's just a little different
When was
now.
Coast to Coast on this summer?
We did that beer for like the first year and a half.
Yeah, that was one of the
still there this
original
summer, I
staple
feel like.
beers.
Yeah, it was one of the original
Or
staples.
like maybe spring this year.
And then we just started switching the malt profile so much the beer was just kind of a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Just because I'd change it every time almost anyways.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, let's just not even call it that anymore.
I remember reverse Coast to Coast. I had a conversation with your dad when I first came here about reverse Coast to Coast. I probably talked to him for like 2 hours. I fell in love instantly with your family. Your dad is so cool.
Your dad and your mom are
the best.
so great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
adore seeing them.
Yeah.
They're so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a good thing going. It's definitely a family business.
Also, I feel like with like the burnout thing though, I can go get a bottle of vodka and make a cocktail at home any night. Like remember like cocktail bars like being very trendy. Like still, I feel like there is definitely a crowd in a scene, and this isn't something that you can just go home and make. Like you have to like go out and get. So I feel like that's one thing with it.
The one thing breweries have done really well too, it's hurt bars in general, is breweries have hurt in bars more than they've hurt each other. So like the thing breweries have done, and I don't think it wasn't like not like some intentional thing that a bunch of brewery owners got together and said, let's create this atmosphere, but breweries have become this very casual place to like meet up, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bar, but it doesn't feel like that necessarily. So they've done this thing where it is like they've created this thing where it's okay to be there at noon and get a beer with your friend, and I don't know, it's just like they've taken a lot of stigma out of like that in general, and so it's hurting bars is what it's hurt. And
it is more like community, like chill.
Yeah,
like
it's very community focused.
I've come here and worked. I've been here with my family.
Yeah.
I've had client meetings here. I've been here completely shit-faced and in costume. I've been in here with no makeup and in sweatpants. Like I feel like every level of like my professional and personal life, I've been here and able to like have people here with me.
Yeah,
we've seen it all.
I know you
We've
have.
seen it all.
Don't even.
No, but that's one thing.
I know
breweries
you
in general
have.
just done a good job of that for whatever reason. Is
vote for me.
Yeah, just kind of creating that space. I think that is comfortable and is cool to, bring your. We don't allow kids, because of our license, but it's like a lot of breweries are very family friendly, like pet friendly. It's very open and just like accepting to all walks of life, and it.
All ages.
Yeah, and all ages, and like they're just a place that is community focused, and I think that breweries have become something where people just go meet up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say too, one thing that I always talk about in Spokane is that it's like the friendliest city, right? I mean, people are so friendly here, but I have sat up at your bar countless times, and I probably have 3 friends that I've met here at Whistle Punk, just because I come in enough.
We've had
and
people
that
move because of they
that
came here and fell in love with Spokane.
is 100% reliant on the community that you've built at Whistle Punk, and I think that also just speaks to Spokane. It's just you guys have got a really magical, great thing going.
The best was a couple weeks ago. There was this lady. She was from Georgia. I want to say she was from Georgia, Atlanta. And so, like, she was making friends with everybody at the bar. Awesome lady. Just, like, people would come in, sit down. She would chat their ear off. And then this one guy came in and sat at the penny bar, like, all by himself. And she just kind of was like, what the fuck's that guy's problem? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, why doesn't he come sit and hang out with us? I'm like, maybe he just wants his space. Like, I don't know. She's like, are we not cool enough for him? It made me laugh.
But like the bar is
Oh
like
yeah, she was
set
making all
up
kinds of friends.
Yeah.
Like,
for like such great conversation.
For sure.
And like in Convalesce, I feel like that's how we've gotten to know Chris, because
Yep.
we're always in here and he's there, and like you're talking to Chris, you're talking to the people next to you, you're talking to people on the side of the corner, and like you're not gonna get that in any bar.
Yeah, not just
in
any bar,
Spokane.
typically, yeah.
Like
I've had
in
groups of
any
people that are like,
bar.
hey, how about, they're like, well, we're gonna go here, and some other people are like, hey, do you care if we join you? And so like, then they'll come in again. I'm like, did you guys ever go hang out? And they're like, oh yeah, like we partied and we went to this spot and then this spot and this spot. Like now we're friends. And
Yeah, and beer tourism's a big thing too. So like, when people get into new cities, people just want to try. We talked about like the locality and regionality of beer. So it's like a huge thing when you go to a new city. It's like, what breweries are we going to? It's like a lot of people do that, and so we get it's unbelievable.
I'm just laughing at you because I'm like, you're like, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
No,
No,
but
because,
it is.
like-
It's unbelievable how many like tourists we get, and it was, you know, you were the first one that came up, and or whatever. And,
Or, yeah, where- like, where
we were
they
at
heard
Iron
us
Goat,
from, it's like,
and
really?
We were at Iron Goat, and they said to come here.
Yeah.
So beer,
That- yeah, you
beer
guys are-
tourism's a huge thing.
And I feel like, yeah, Iron Coat is always like the second destination, like from here, because it's just right
We're in
down
the
the
same
alley.
blocks. I mean,
yeah,
same.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's definitely like so close. So people are like, well, where would you go after here? And I'm just like, you know, I'd go to Iron Goat or
If
Steel
you
Barrel.
are
Yeah.
traveling, those of you that are listening to this podcast, if you are traveling anywhere and you need a list of breweries to go to, definitely come to Whistle Punk, because Chris has given me countless when I was in New Orleans and Portland. Oh my gosh.
tried to tell
Every
you where to
time
go.
San Francisco, every time I leave Astoria, it's up in Seattle. It's like, you gotta go here, you gotta go here. And like, it never disappoints. So I feel like that too.
Did
like
you ever
there's
go to
just,
Garden Path
I
when
didn't.
you were on your way to
I-
Anacortes?
No.
Oh man.
No. See,
Hopefully, I
there's
just
a
sent like
list.
I think I sent like 5 people over that way. So hopefully they went because their beer is amazing.
Right. There's a whole culture.
There's a lot of beer out
to
there.
it.
Yep.
So, what do you think? I think we probably answered this multiple times today, but what do you think Whistle Punk? How do you think it distinguishes itself out from all the other breweries in Spokane? What makes you different, other than the fact that you did 120 beers last year?
We
or this year?
do. We're really getting focused on lagers, which I think is going to be a huge trend in beer, but I also just find myself trending towards them. I love drinking them. So it's something that we're focused on right now. But up until this point, we've done beers that are trendy or hype-focused beers really well up until this point. And so we've drawn in a crowd of people that are like it's like beer nerd subculture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we've kind of hit that crowd really well.
Yeah.
And that crowd is very vocal on social media and there's like social media beer platforms. And so we've been like propped up a ton because of that. Yeah. And so that's kind of one thing I think we've done well is we've really hit that crowd.
Nice.
Like we don't necessarily hit the casual beer drinker.
I mean, I would say
We
you
can't.
do.
We
like,
do, but
you like beer. Like you like beer. I like beer. You make beer that you like, and you do it good.
yeah.
So it's like, I mean, we focus on some things that are trendy because, like, you know, they're new, they're exciting.
Yeah. They're
But we
very
also
visual
like
on the internet
we like
stuff, too.
drinking them.
Yeah.
Like I think they're
They're
delicious.
just nice to drink, yeah.
But then, you know, we come into like a season like Christmas season, and we brew an awesome celebration ale, which is wonderful.
It's just like an old school
Yeah.
IPA. You
Or
know, that-
or a Helles Lager that's just like clean and crisp and wonderful, or the Pilsner, like
yeah.
they're just good beers.
I
Does
have
good
a
job.
friend who I would say one of the things I would say is this, like, I have a friend who does the ale, that does what's that thing,
In the Northwest Ale Trail?
No, the WABL
Yeah,
thing.
the wobble, whatever it's called. Yeah.
He did like 150 breweries in like 2000.
Passport
Yeah,
or
the
something.
Oh
like in
my
2018, and he's like, Whistle Punk, like, hands down is like one of his favorite
Yeah.
breweries. And you have Fresh Hops on right now, which is like totally
Yeah.
like a hip. Like,
yeah.
like,
We did 4 fresh hops this year.
yeah, and like
3.
and he loves it. Like, I know people who will just go find Fresh Hops.
Yeah, fresh
like,
hop season's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
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 Wait,
to-
are
you
there
have to-
different beers on tap on this side?
Yeah, we've put different.
Yeah.
When we did Punktoberfest, we did all
door.
German beer over here.
Yeah.
Well, I remember because I remember I had to come over here to get the German
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Which
There's
I'm really
like
sad you didn't get
24
to do
beers on
any,
right
like,
now.
stuff. I was just gonna say, how many do you
I think we
have?
have 24 different beers on.
24.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, we usually have 14
Plus a few.
plus a few on this side, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, crushing it right now.
Man.
A lot of fucking beer.
It
lot
is.
of
Yeah, it's a
fucking
lot
beer.
of a lot of different beer.
Cool.
Yeah.
We always end the show with one.
Yeah, our final question. Why Spokane?
I fell in love with Spokane when I was in high school. I didn't think I would live in Spokane. I really wanted to go live in Seattle or like a big city, and I kind of like fell into just like the bad like portrayal of Spokane that you can get from people who don't go do anything.
Spokane sucks.
Yeah, it's like and so it's like you get on like the Spokane subreddit, it's just toxic, just people like bashing, and I find that it's people who don't go do anything.
100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
Like you don't know, you just bash.
Yeah.
And
I'm
don't
sorry.
go
You
anywhere.
stay home
Yeah.
and like sit behind your keyboard.
Eat at
Yeah.
chain restaurants and whatever. I mean, which is fine, but don't bash. Like, don't say we don't have this because we do.
Yeah.
Don't say we don't have a live music scene. Don't say we don't have an art scene. Don't say we don't have good chefs, because like all that stuff is super prevalent and we're excelling at it.
Yes.
But yeah. So in high school, I didn't think I would live in Spokane, and then I started to fall in love with. It was when I moved downtown. Yeah. So I moved downtown alone my sophomore year of college, my junior year of college, and I fell in love with downtown. I fell in love with the restaurant scene and the music scene and the bar scene, and it was all new to me because I'd never done any of that. And it was like the first time I was making my own money that I could just go spend. I had like a tip job, so I felt like I had a bunch of money. So I was getting to do a lot of things, and that's when I really fell in love with Spokane's and met a lot of my friends. And it was the downtown core and like the whole energy of downtown that I didn't know was there.
Yeah.
That made me say, this is where the brewery's going, this is what we're doing. So
That's
Cool.
great.
yeah.
Are you looking at me?
You, sir?
You're next.
gotta
Why
answer.
Spokane?
Yeah.
I mean, I've lived here for a long time. I would say like I really fell in love with Spokane like when I started running. I mean, you live here and you can like go through the motions like quite a bit. It's like A to B. But if you like get around and actually like get outside and see like what Spokane has to offer, I mean, I didn't know anything about the Centennial Trail. Like probably like the first like 20 years I lived here. And so it's like, or Rocks of Sharon or any of like the hiking stuff, like going out, it was just like go to bars, get drunk, do the whole,
Yep.
I mean, I could get why some people are like Spokane sucks. It's like, cause you're not out doing things. I
Right.
mean, you might be out doing things, but like you're not really experiencing or like living like for what Spokane has to offer.
Near nature, near perfect.
Near nature, near
Right.
perfect.
Oh, is that a slogan that we have?
Yeah,
Oh,
It
it's
used
our
to be.
slogan.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
our
I
old
think they
slogan.
I
when
feel like
they
that should be the
changed
hashtag
it,
instead of Spokane
but,
doesn't
yeah.
suck.
They did change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of like, yeah. I've
And
like
the-
fallen in love with the city more and more like
Me
the past
too.
like 5 years.
The last
It's
5
been
years
good.
have been really good too, and I love
Real
what they've
good.
done with like the park and downtown's getting more
yeah.
mature. And
It's
It's
crazy.
so dope.
It's
Yeah.
so nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing too is like I think when I started traveling more, I started to realize how great Spokane was.
Yeah.
Because when I travel, like I'd like to think I'd go to like a lot of the great spots. Like I try to like, I'm not just on
Research
Yelp and
and-
like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
what's the top, but like so, and then you start realizing like, we have all this in Spokane,
Yeah.
and it's just as beautiful, and like you take a lot for granted. And then when people would start coming into Spokane, I always love to show Spokane off. So it's like, I love, like we do it all the time at Whistle Punk, is
Yeah,
give people
check
lists
this
like,
out,
here's
check
what
this
your
out,
night
go
should
to
look
this
like
place.
if
That's
this is the
awesome.
stuff you want
Yeah.
to do. And then it's a lot of stuff you would never find out. It's stuff you would never just like do, because it's easy to accidentally end up at like PF Chang's or whatever because it's visible and. But
Yeah,
you know
when
what I
you could
mean?
go to-
You're not
Totally.
gonna,
You could go to
you're
the
not
Gully
gonna go to a bar
Bistro.
if you don't
Yeah.
know it's there. You're not
All right.
going to.
You're not gonna go to
Durkin's.
Ruins.
You're not going to Ruins.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
drive by
Yeah.
Ruins and you're just like,
Yeah.
what is
No.
this place
And
open?
then, so there's a lot of these spots, and then just like even getting on the trail, you might, but it's like there's certain parts of it. It's like, oh, instead of going that way, go this way, or get
Yeah.
into Kimball Yards. A bunch of different things that you wouldn't do. And so when you start showing Spokane off, and then it's people from other cities, and they come back and it's like, we had the best night of our lives, and like, yeah. So that always feels really good and is like super validating about where we're going as a city.
Love. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for adding
Yeah.
great beer culture
Yeah,
absolutely.
to this city and to downtown. I mean, Nate and I literally live 30 feet from Whistle Punk. And yeah, there is something about the downtown energy, and there's literally 12 things to do every single night in this town if you
and
just
especially the block we're on
make it
right now.
out.
We were talking about it before this. Like, it's just this area of town's growing
It's
like
up and
crazy.
The
coming.
west
off,
side of
yeah.
downtown, West of Monroe.
Yeah,
That's
West
where
of
it's
Monroe.
at.
For a long time, it's been pretty dead over here, and
Yeah.
now it's just like, whoa.
It's
Yeah.
changing.
Everything is like exploding. It's really
Yeah, next year's
awesome
gonna
to
look a
see.
lot different.
Next year is going to look so different. I think the new hotel's supposed to open up in December
That's
too,
what I
which
heard
is
too,
right here
yeah.
in Madison, which is going to be
That's
crazy.
just
And it's
been
higher
taking
end, too.
forever.
Yeah, and so for all you that like Whistle Punk is located on. So if you go First and Monroe downtown, and just like a little bit up in the corner of Railroad Alley and Monroe. In fact, you're behind Heritage Bar and Kitchen, which is awesome because you can order food at Heritage and have it delivered here at Whistle Punk. And you guys are on
Yeah.
Instagram. I never
Whistle
get
Punk
on
beer on
Facebook.
everything.
Are you on
We're
Facebook?
on Facebook,
Okay,
but
good. I would
it's
assume.
just
I'm
our
like, I
Instagram.
never get on your Facebook.
He's horrible at Facebook.
Don't message me on there.
I think I have.
I don't even know how to find my messages. They go in so many spots. I don't understand Facebook Messenger. I don't understand how it works. How come
You gotta-
some
there's
stuff's
there-
in Messenger and how come some stuff's in my page and how come I have to have a personal account to have a Whistle Punk page?
There's like
That's
5
very
Facebook
confusing,
apps,
yeah.
like for sure.
It's too much.
stresses me out.
Hit us up on the gram.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just follow them on Instagram.
Slide into their
And
DM, yeah.
make sure, especially if you don't live downtown and you're going to be downtown for the holidays, it's a really great location after you do your shopping or you're going out to see a show.
That's a really
We're
cozy Christmas
two,
Yeah.
It is, totally. And you're 2 blocks from, I mean, you're not even, what am I talking about? You're like a block from Knitting Factory and Fox. So if you're going to be going and seeing
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, to
Nutcracker
see a
or
show.
anything, stop on in before or after. You guys open at 4, close on Sundays.
We're probably going to start opening Sundays, so we'll announce that soon. And then,
Ooh,
yeah,
yay.
3 o'clock Friday, Saturday.
I was going to say, yeah, 3 a little
Yeah,
an hour.
and that
earlier
might
before.
happen
That
earlier
might
too. So.
change soon
Awesome.
too.
Yeah.
So
It's closed at 9 Thursday, open till 11 Saturday.
midnight
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
ishes.
Not that I come
9-ish,
here
11-ish.
at all and know when everyone's working on what days. No. Awesome. You guys got a good crew. Thank you so much for being on
Yeah,
Spokast.
thank you.
Do
Go
we say
Spokast.
anything?
Yeah, we say bye.
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 It's good to harmonize it.
Keep up with us at spokast.com. That is Spokast. And you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Spokast Podcast. This podcast has been brought to you by Spokast Productions. Produced by Brennan Pointer, Andrea Williams, and Nate Martin. Original music composed by San Silvis. Thank you for listening.